Hello, and thank you very much once again for joining me on this videos and the videos I've been putting out there. In these videos, I basically share my thoughts on how I believe you can stand out in the workplace. And really, you're not hoping to stand out in the workplace as an end on its own. It's really because you believe by standing out in the workplace, you will be able to accelerate your career growth, increase your visibility in the workplace, and be recognized for the value that you bring in form of promotions and salary increases that you get. Now, if you're seeing me for the first time, an introduction is obviously in order. My name is Tola Akinshilwe, and I've had the blessing of working across multiple countries with multiple languages. I've worked in Spanish speaking, French speaking, and English speaking countries. I'm currently a C-suite executive at a multi-country operation. In addition to that, I'm also the founder of the Workplace Multipliers Business School, where we help career professionals like you win at work and in life. Now, on to today's conversation. We've already established in my previous videos the three things that you need to have in place for you to stand out in the workplace. We've fully discussed about one, which is a radical focus on the right results. Yesterday, we started a conversation on delivering the right results with service excellence. Now, today, what I'm going to do here is this. I'm going to go further in our conversation with regards to talking about providing emotional value for the people that you serve. And for today, after I put forward the video, I actually got a DM during which somebody gave me her personal case and, sort of wanted a bit of insight on it. Now, I'm not going to go into the full details of what it is. There are a couple of personal information that the person shared. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read the end point, which sort of like encapsulates everything I want to really communicate with the guys. It says, look, after the background story that the person had shared, closes with this. At one point, a former boss of mine told me he could never choose me to go represent the office at a high-level meeting with the partners because of the way I looked and spoke. I think he said it as a joke, but it stayed with me, and I have to constantly fight to put it behind me and do my best. Look, honestly, as someone who has been on the receiving end of focusing on something which turns out not to be the main thing that people wanted me in terms of the bosses that be and the powers that be at the workplace wanted. I actually think this is good. This is for me, this is feedback. Somebody actually telling you what it is specifically that they want you to focus on. And really, when I looked at this, the first thing that came to my mind is this person has to focus on building their executive presence. Very, very much important. You see, beyond just your ability to deliver results, there's also something which gives a lot of emotional uh, assurance, emotional confidence to your boss and maybe the your boss's boss and the people that basically have to make decisions in terms of your salary increases or promotion. Sometimes it's not really in terms of your ability to do your work. It's in terms of the executive presence that you bring to bear as you do your work on a daily basis. Now, what is executive presence? Okay, it's just a combination of qualities that really make you appear confident, credible, and influential. Yeah, it's like this. You're basically projecting an aura of confidence, competence, and leadership. Now, if you talk about executive presence, there are three key areas that you need to focus on. It's almost like I'm doing sort of like a therapy session, but no, it's not a therapy session. It's really an action session. There are three key areas that you need to focus on when you want to build executive presence. There's the verbal aspect, there's the non-verbal, and then of course there's your behavioral. Now, with regards to verbal, number one, you need to have the strength and capacity to be able to defend whatever it is that you present. You need to take that approach to defending whatever it is that you present. You need to show yourself as being taking a disciplined approach in terms of how you present your defense. And beyond just taking a disciplined approach, even in terms of the way you communicate, you need to be able to lace your communication with personal anecdotes, emotions, and you don't need to be seen as being stoic. You need to show yourself showing the right level of emotion when you are communicating, because you need to communicate to connect with people. And sometimes when you're able to communicate with the right level of emotion, the right level of personal stories, helps people to connect to you, help people to see you as authentic and being credible. This deals with the verbal aspect. The next aspect, which is the non-verbal, of course, that really has to do with how you yourself even show up on a personal basis. Number one, there has to be congruence in terms of how you show up at the workplace and how you feel on the inside, because you find out that if there is dissonance between how you feel on the inside and how you're trying to project yourself within the workplace, you would always find out that you show up as, let me use the word, as a hypocrite. And the root word for hypocrite is actually an actor, meaning that you're putting up a performance every single time. In addition to that, you also have to dress the part. What I mean by dress the part, yes, I know everybody says, yeah, you need to be yourself, but you need to know the type of organization that you're entering. And there are certain dressings that communicate certain things. There's a story, I don't remember his name anymore. There was a story, I actually shared it on social media once upon a time. It was a gentleman in which he said that somebody called him from the head office and was like, look, I'm going to tell you this on the down low. He's black, he's African American, works in the US. He says, I'm going to tell you this on the down low. The reason why you've been skipped over for promotion this time is simply because of your hair. You need to chop down your afro. And he said the first thing that occurred to him when that guy told him that, he was like, why would my afro be the reason why I'm not being promoted, etc. and things like that. And he was gonna go all amano on it. And he said he went home that weekend, and here he was lamenting to his dad that, look, this is what somebody said. Guess what the dad said? The dad said, hey, there's a barber shop down the road. Go and get the haircut. So he got his haircut, and as it would turn out, the next promotion cycle, he got promoted. Yes, you can say, why would his hairstyle be the reason why he should not get promoted? But look, you just have to realize that in certain organizations, there are certain parts that they want you to look. And if you want to progress, in addition to doing a good job, you sometimes have to look the part. So we've covered the nonverbal. Now, the third thing which you need to have together in building executive presence is your behavior. Your behavior in terms of how you respond to things. So, for example, when you are under fire, how do you behave? Do you overreact to issues? Do you overcompensate? Because those are some of the things that people notice, people identify with. For example, how do you respond when there's something that needs to be done? Do you wait for you to be called out, or you take initiative? Those are the sort of things that they want to be seen. Do you, in terms of the way in which you present your point of view, is there a uniqueness to the way in which you present your view, or you're just like the crowd, like everybody? So that's really how I would look at it. So for, like I said, in the case of this particular person, the person needs to build executive presence, and it's not so much of what you can do. It's really giving assurance that for you to go to the next level, your supervisor and maybe your supervisor's supervisor, they need to be sure about this. Now, this is something that I found that, interestingly, I think over the last couple of weeks, this is actually the second person which I'm finding out that it's a case of executive presence that is missing. Because I actually had someone who going to become a client, and he, in part of my one-on-one jobs, and basically he said he works in a multi-country operation, and he feels he's been skipped for promotions and opportunities. And when we had a conversation, just like an initial conversation before his onboarding, I could see that, look, yeah, it looks like you've got the T's right in terms of being able to provide functional value. You're good at your job, but it looks like you just need that bit of extra to be able to provide emotional value to the people that you serve. And this is something we all need to embrace. It's not just about functional value. You need to be able to add another layer, emotional value. Now, just by way of update for you, I'm putting together a workshop which is going to be happening on October 12th, from 3 p.m. West African time and 10 a.m. Eastern time. And during the workshop, I'm going to be going deeper into all these concepts that I'm sharing on this video. And the goal here is that by the end of the workshop, it's a 3-hour workshop. By the end of the workshop, you should be ready for implementation, so that when you show up on Monday, you go straight into implementation phase. And over the next couple of weeks, you can see the noticeable transformation in the results you deliver, and even the perception that people have with you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave information about the training, about how you can sign up on the training. I'm going to leave it on the comments under this video. Thank you very much once again for joining me on this video. I look forward to seeing you on the next video, and I want to wish you a great day. Thank you very much.